or Haiti. Haiti, the state in the western part of the island of the same name, which east part is occupied by Dominican Republic, and on a number of coastal islands. The capital of Haiti, Port-au-Prince. The population of the country minus colored people, 2009, from them about 1 million people live abroad, generally in the USA. The Republic of Haiti won independence of France in 1804 during the successful Haitian Revolution and became the independent state, the second after the USA, in America and the first ever republic led by blacks. This only independent state in America where French prevails. See the French-speaking countries, and one or the other, along with Canada where it is state. Haiti, one of the poorest and unstable countries of the world. The poorest country of America, which is constantly suffering from hunger, natural disasters and coups. The Republic of Haiti occupies the western part of the island of Haiti and also several adjacent islands, the largest of which, Tortue, to the north from the island of Haiti. Gonave. In the Gulf Gonave. And Yers. To the south from the island of Haiti. In the north it is washed by the Atlantic Ocean, and in the south the Caribbean Sea. Haiti, the third in area country in the Caribbean Sea after Cuba and Dominican Republic, on which the Republic of Haiti borders throughout 360 km. The Republic has the second longest, after Cuba. On the Big Antilles the coastline, 1171 km. From the east on the west the country is crossed by strongly dismembered ridges bordered with narrow coastal plains. The northern part of the country is occupied with the northern ridge and the northern plain. The first being continuation the Cordillera Central. The largest ridge of the island of Haiti, which is completely located within Dominican Republic, begins at eastern frontier of the country, to the north from the Guayamac River, and stretches for the northwest, to the Northwest Peninsula. To the north from the northern ridge, along the Atlantic Ocean, rather narrow northern plain is located. In the central part of the country, 2 plains and 2 mountain chains. To the south of the northern ridge, on both riverbanks Guayamac, from the southeast on the northwest the Plateau Central was stretched. To the southwest from the plateau, the mountains Montanur are connected in the northwest part to the northern ridge. In the south of the Republic of Haiti, the hollow of Cul-de-Sac and the mountain of the southern peninsula. Ridge La Salle, representing continuation of the southern mountain chain of Dominican Republic of Sierra de Boruco, stretches from the Massif La Salle in the east to the ridge from in the west. The highest point of Ridge La Salle is also the highest point of the country, Peak La Salle, 2680 m. The main river of the Republic of Haiti, the Artibonite, originating in the western part of Dominican Republic, proceeding on the most part of the extent across the territory of the Republic of Haiti and flowing into the Gulf Gonave. Artibonite is also the longest river of all island of Haiti. In the valley of the river Artibonite there is the main area of cultivation of grain crops in the Republic. The territory of the Republic is put Cretaceous and the Paleogene-Neogenovemic by deposits. Considerable fields of aluminum ores are connected with the last. Soils, brown red and mountain brown red ferrilitizirvani. Rich with iron oxides. The climate is warm, damp, tropical. Average monthly temperature varies from +25°C to +30°C. Day temperature fluctuations are stronger annual. In Port-au-Prince the smallest temperature is +14.4°C, the greatest +38.9°C. The amount of precipitation variously depending on the area is more on Navatreni slopes, it is less on leeward and in hollows. In the last 500-800 mm of rainfall a year while on Navatreni slopes, to 2500 drop out. Allocate to rainy seasons. The first proceeds from April to June, the second from September to November. In the rest of the time dry and warm weather remains. Destructive tropical hurricanes, generally during the period from June to September, are frequent. Deforestation which led to a catastrophic erosion of once fertile soils has negative impact on the environment. Wood is used as fuel and as raw materials for light industry. Vegetation, steady against drought and salinization, prevails. Plains and leeward slopes are busy with the cactuses which are often forming the woods, the shrubby euphorbias, trees reminding Mescatovi thickets of a palm tree sabbat. Some sites of the coast are covered with mangrove swamps, and internal valleys, savannas with pines. In more damp areas, mainly in the south, the trees typical for the rain tropical forest. A common cashew, mahogany, a dalbergia. And grow in mountains pines. Wild avocados grow, orange and mango grow. It is a lot of species of insects, but there are no large mammals. There are gut and the mongooses delivered for destruction of rats. Snakes a little. Ducks, 4 kinds of wild pigeons are widespread. Reptiles include 3 kinds of crocodiles, numerous land lizards. Coastal waters abound with fish, sea turtles, shrimps. In 1492 the island of Haiti was opened by Spaniards, called Hispaniola, and began to be colonized. Columbus's expedition. In 1697, after the conclusion of the Rysvykski peace treaty, the western part of the island passed under control of France. The central and east parts of the island under the name Santo Domingo, modern Dominican Republic, remained with Spain. The local population, Indians, was destroyed, and his place was taken by the black slaves imported from Africa. In 1789 the island was inhabited by 36,000 of white, 28,000 free mulattoes and about 500,000 black slaves. On January 1, 1804, as a result of a successful revolt, the Black Haitians formed the independent state led by Dessalines. An almost all-white population of the country, including women and children, was cut out. Mulattoes formed the republic led by Alexander Pétion. The power to Haiti was the unstable, complicated revolutions and dictatorships. 1825, France recognized independence of Haiti, but in exchange imposed on the young republic huge contribution as compensation of the property lost by the former slaveholders as a result of the Haitian Revolution of 1804. 1915-1934, occupation of Haiti by troops of the USA which left in power elite of mulattoes.
In 1957, the former Minister of Health, the fighter against typhus François Duvalier, who became a dictator, subsequently became the president of Haiti.
The Tontons Macoutes were a support of his power. In 1971 his power was inherited by the son Jean-Claude Duvalier.
In 1986 regime of Clan of Duvalier was overthrown, and after a series of revolutions at the beginning of 1991 the democratic government led by the former priest Aristide came to the power.
March 1987, the new constitution of Haiti, supported by vast majority of the population, is entered. August 1991, the Chamber of Deputies announced a vote of no confidence to Aristide.
83 votes were given for Aristide's removal from a post of the president, -11.
In September in the country there was a military coup. Jean-Bertrand Aristide was sent into exile.
According to the Constitution of 1987, the Supreme Judge Joseph Nerat became the acting president.
Elections were appointed to December 1991, however they were blocked by the international community. Until 1994 in the Republic of Haiti there was a political instability. 1994, as a result of military intervention of the USA, Aristide was restored on the president's post. 1995, dissolution of army. The president leans on the armed militias, one of which is the Army of Cannibals, led by Maître Ramy's brothers.
In 2004, against the background of a political crisis, fighters of pro-governmental Army of Cannibals lifted a mutiny in the city of Genève on February 4 and attacked police station.
In the country, crisis continued. On February 14, rebels are supported by voodoo paramilitary groups of Fraf of Chamberlain, the former Tontons Macoutes, and fighters of the former police chief Philip. New American invasion with the purpose to avoid Massachusetts bloodshed in the capital followed.
On February 22, rebels attacked Cap-Aiken. The local population welcomes them.
On February 23, protection of the United States Embassy was strengthened.
On February 28, in the capital, disorders, robberies and murders began. On February 29, the President Aristide, accompanied by Marines of the USA, was evacuated to the Central African Republic.
The power passed to the Supreme Judge. On March 1, the French troops took all key places of the capital under control.
Soon the Union Mission for Stabilization of a Situation in the country was sent to the Republic of Haiti.
In July 2004, over 1,500 people died from the landslides caused by pouring rains, and in September 2004, not less than 2,000 became the victims of the hurricanes Jana and Ivan.
The Union directed to victims humanitarian aid, which sharing led to bloodshed again.
At the beginning of October 2004, supporters of the overthrown President Aristide made new disorders. The task of their termination was set for Constabulary Stabilization Forces of the Union. Nearly 7,000 people.
Troops of Haitian Army and Police, for which training and rearmament the USA only in 2004 allocated $9 million, tried to help peacekeepers, but their efforts didn't bring due results.
In February 2006, René Préval, who was the president of the country in 1995-2000, was elected the president. Close on views to Aristide, still popular in the country. On January 12, 2010, there was an earthquake. Epicenter was located to the south from the island near the capital of the state, Port-au-Prince. It is reported about tens of thousands of the victims among the population of the country, numerous destructions, including the major buildings having the state and international value. On January 20 there was a push of an earthquake measuring 6.8.
On January 26 the government of the country distributed the data on the number of the dead based on calculation of bodies in places of Massachusetts burials.
According to these data, 210,000 people who became the victims of a destructive earthquake are buried in Haiti. The same year in the country the cholera epidemic caused by an insanitary situation in camps, in which still there live many people who were left without housing after an earthquake, began. According to some information, cholera to Haiti was delivered by the Nepalese Union peacekeepers. On March 20, 2011 the president of Haiti in the second round of elections elected the famous musician and the right politician Michel Martelly. In 2017 Juvenal Moïse became the president of Haiti. On the night of July 7, 2021 the president of Haiti Juvenal Moïse got a mortal wound as a result of attack of unknown on his residence. Haiti has diplomatic relations with the Russian Federation since June 2, 1996. On February 7, 2006 two Haiti presidential and parliamentary elections were held. After calculation of 31% of bulletins with result of 65% the former president of the country. 1996-2001. René Préval representing small opposition party 50 Espoir. Hope. And enjoying support of the last president of Haiti Jean-Bertrand Aristide was in the lead. Despite it, in process of counting of votes René Préval's advantage decreased to 48.76% after calculation of 90% of voices. On the second place, also former president of Haiti. 1988. Leslie Maniga who collected only 13.4% of votes. In this situation René Préval refused to recognize results of vote, having accused provisional government of falsifications and Massachusetts violations which, according to him, didn't allow him to win a victory already in the first round. René Préval's supporters blocked streets of Port-au-Prince and arranged numerous disorders. Protesters crushed the headquarters of Temporary Election Commission. Across the whole country there passed collisions of the population with the military personnel of forces of the Union. For investigation of possible falsifications the Special Commission was created. To Haiti there arrived the head of the Organization of American States José Miguel Insulza. On February 16, 2006 René Préval was recognized as the winner. The final decision on it was made after negotiations between the government and election commission. After creation of the Special Commission and vote recount it was announced Préval's victory with result of 51.15%. The first round of elections of 2010-2011 was also followed by falsifications. After vote recount the musician Michel Martelly and Jude Celestini who was a protégé of the acting and leaving president René Préval who was also his son-in-law succeeded to the second round. On the third place there was a wife of one of the former presidents, the former First Lady Merlin Maniga. Owing to the Massachusetts riots and disobedience campaigns which took place through the whole country, the final victory remained for Martelly who held the president's post on May 14, 2011. According to Economist Intelligence Unit, the country in 2018 was classified under the Index of Democracy as the hybrid mode. According to the constitution adopted on March 29, 1987, the president, the citizen of Haiti not more young 35 years who lived in the country not less than 5 years can be elected. The president is elected by a universal direct ballot for a period of 5 years. He can be re-elected for the second term only in 5 years. The possibility of election for the third term is excluded. If during elections any of candidates doesn't receive absolute majority of votes, 50% plus 1, then the second round, in which 2 candidates who gathered a majority of votes participate, is held. The president is the commander-in-chief of armed forces of the country. He conducts negotiations and concludes the international agreements, will publish laws, proposes the prime minister's candidacy. All decisions of the head of state are subject to the approval by National Assembly. Parliament. The president carries out executive power together with the government. The legislature is carried out by the National Assembly, consisting of 2 chambers, the Senate and the Chamber of Deputies. Both chambers are elected a universal direct ballot of citizens, senators, for 6 years. Each 2 years the Senate is updated on 1/3. And deputies for 4 years.
The quantitative structure of the Chamber of Deputies and Senate isn't constant, it is defined by the electoral law.
The National Assembly elected in 2006 consists of 30 senators and 99 deputies.
By results of elections to the Senate and the Chamber of Deputies in February-April 2006.
The Front of Hope, the left, 13 senators, 23 deputies. Merge of Social Democrats, the left, 4 senators, 17 deputies. The Organization of National Fight, the left, 3 senators, 10 deputies. The Christian National Union for Reconstruction, centrist, 2 senators, 12 deputies. In the Senate 6 more parties, in the Chamber of Deputies -10 more parties are represented.
The next elections to the Senate and the Chamber of Deputies were planned for February 28, 2010.
Because of an earthquake, elections were postponed, then postponed for November 28. Haiti is divided into 10 departments. Departments are divided into 41 districts and 133 communes. Haiti, the underdeveloped agrarian state. Country of the Western Hemisphere of the planet, poorest in the plan of economy, and one of the most undeveloped countries of the world. DDD per capita in 2009, $13-17. The 203rd place in the world. It is lower than the level of poverty, -60% of the population. 2003. The main source of currency income of the Republic, money transfers from emigrants. 25% of GDP, or twice more than all income from export from the country. External debt, $1.8 billion. For the end of 2008. %66% of the population are engaged in agriculture. The processed lands make 1/3 of the territory of the country. Development of agriculture is complicated because of a natural landscape of the country, most of which part is occupied by heights and mountains. Coffee, mango, sugarcane, rice, corn, sorghum are grown up. To Haiti, gold deposits, bow and copper are found, but they are practically not developed.
The main industries: sugar, flour grinding, textile.
Export $960 million, import $3.621 billion. 2017. Export clothes and textiles, cocoa, mango, coffee, sugar. Main buyers: the USA -81%, Dominican Republic -5%, Canada -3%. Import: food, industrial goods, fuel. Main suppliers: the USA -21%, China -19%, the Netherlands Antilles -16%, Indonesia -8.5%. Extent of highways is about 4,000 kilometers, but their most part has no hard coating, therefore they are unsuitable during a rainy season. Between the main towns of the country, ways with a hard coating are paved. There are railroads, their extent -40 km. Population -9.2 million. Assessment for July 2010. Annual gain -1.8%. Fertility -3. 7 births only woman. Average life expectancy -61 years. 59 years men, have 62 years at women. Infantile mortality -58 for 1000. Contamination: a virus of an immunodeficiency. HIV -2.2%. Assessment for 2007. Ethno-racial structure: Negroids -95%, mulattoes and Caucasians -5%. Languages: French and Haitian Creole. Both state. Religions: Catholics -80%, Protestants of 16%. Baptists -10%, Pentecostals from the Assemblies of God and the Church of God -4%, Adventists -1%. Other religions -3%, Atheists -1%. The bulk of the population practices a cult of the voodoo. Literacy -53%. Assessment of 2003. 58% of inhabitants. The first place in the countries of Latin America, in the world, the first place at Congo from 75% of the starving people. Starve. The culture of Haiti, result of mixture of the French and African cultures with noticeable influence of Catholicism.
Among the holidays which are widely celebrated in the country, a holiday with
Sortio. Throughout all history and foreign policy of the country, partial isolation prevailed.
In the 18th century to Haiti there was revolution, therefore the country gained independence of France, but the governments of other Slav-holding countries ignored this fact and didn't recognize the Republic of Haiti in the first half of the 19th century. In the United States of America, the question of recognition of Haiti caused sharp disputes between abolitionists who supported recognition and slaveholders who furiously opposed such step.
However, after the beginning of Civil War, the United States President Abraham Lincoln disposed to recognize independence of Haiti. At the beginning of the 20th century of Haiti became an interest subject for great powers because of the strategic situation. The competition between the United States, Germany, France and Great Britain that as a result led to occupation of Haiti by the United States Armed Forces. The subsequent policy of self-isolation of Haiti followed from cultural and language uniqueness of the country, her economic backwardness and the international condemnation of the regime of the President François Duvalier. There is the state radio company and the state radio station RARI. Radio National de Haiti, National Radio Haiti. The state TV company and the public TV channel CNI.
Television National de Haiti, National Television of Haiti.
Holidays. On January 1, New Year. On January 1, the Independence Day. On January 2, Day of Ancestors in Haiti. On April 14, Pan American Day. April-May, Good Friday. Easter and Easter Monday. On May 1, Day of Solidarity of Workers. On May 18, Day of the Flag. June, Rise in a Corpus Christi. The middle of August, the Dormition of the Theotokos. On October 17, Anniversary of Death of Jean-Jacques Dessalines. On October 24, Day of the Union. On November 1-2, All Saints' Day. On November 18, Day of Fight at Vertrier. On December 5, the opening day of Haiti. On December 25, Christmas. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.